Be sure to check out Sure Shot Shooting Supplies, the official ammo sponsor of Therapy Range. It's time to shut up and shoot.
Hi, here we go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Therapy Range. Today, I've got something really special out on the range for us. It is the most widely manufactured bolt-action rifle in the history of the world. The M1891, or what you guys probably know it as, the Mosin. With more than 37 million manufactured from 1891, in spite of this weapon's age, it's still widely used all around the world today in conflicts and military actions, including the Ukraine, all over Africa, all throughout the Middle East. It would honestly be easier to count the number of countries that this weapon hasn't drawn blood in than it would be to find the opposite of that. In fact, when I was doing the research on this gun, I was really blown away at just how well this weapon has traveled around the country, around the world, with use in obviously Russia, Poland, Romania, Hungary, China, Czechoslovakia, Finland, Estonia, Austria, Afghanistan, France, Israel, Libya, Spain, Serbia, Yemen, Mexico, and that is a very, very chopped down short list to keep this from dragging on forever. If you do a quick Wikipedia on the Mosin, you'll see that this weapon has been used in anger and in self-defense all around the world. What I believe I have here today, through my attempts at identifying these weapons, I believe I have one of the M44 carbines. This would be a Type 53 from China. It has the little China star stamped in the receiver with the marking date of 1955 on it. So with the research that I've been able to come up with, I believe that this is an M44 Type 53, and it's got the cool fixed bayonet on it. There we go. Because you can't have a cool Mosin without a bayonet. So it's time to shut up and shoot. Let's put some rounds downrange and see what this carbine length, it's not a carbine, but a carbine length, Mosin does in the way of accuracy at about 35 yards. After it's 100 years old. No, this particular one's not 100 years old, but it is indeed fairly old. Not a matching number gun, so I doubt this particular rifle ever saw combat. It's all mismatched numbers, which means that this was a refurbish of an old, broken, probably battle-worn guns. Now, is it out of the question for, I don't know, the barrel or a bolt or the fixed magazine could have came out of a gun that actually saw combat? But I doubt this one actually ever saw any combat. God, I'm just rambling. It's time to shut up and shoot. I'm gonna shoot that purple target down there. I've got two guns, I've got two targets down there. I'm gonna shoot the M44 or the Type 53 at the purple target, and I'm gonna hit the other one with hit the red target with the other rifle. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. All right, let's send it. Let's see if we can put a headshot on this old steel target. Let's send one more. And I did that backwards. I shot the red target first because I wasn't thinking. So we'll hit the purple target with the other one. I'm gonna fire one more shot. And we didn't cover it, but for those that don't know, the Mosin shoots the 7.62 by 5.4R. This is a rimmed round. Hopefully that shows up on the camera. And one more for the show. All right, 3 shots, 3 hits. I am happy with that. This old gun at 7.62 by 5.4 absolutely kicks like a mule. So let's set this off to the side, and we'll bring out my fun gun. This is what I believe to be a model 9130. Again, I could be wrong. I'm not an expert on these. But I believe with the markings that I have on it, that I have a 9130. It's a 1943 head stamp on the receiver. I'm pretty certain that it's a 9130, the long version. But if there's anybody out there that knows more about these weapons than I do, feel free to correct me. I don't get butthurt over that. Oh, listen to this. The action on these old rifles is just amazing for a gun that's over 100 years old. Now, again, this particular one is not over 100 years old. With a head stamp in 1943, the design itself is over 100 years old though, and it just impresses the shit out of me that these old guns, these actual weapons of war, still function as well as they do. So let's shoot it. All right, so I got 3 rounds loaded up in here. Let's take us a couple shots at this purple target, and we'll go down and see how these old guns are still hitting, as old as they are. All right, let's do it. Well, I missed that one. We can't have that. You have to edit that out. All right, a 4th shot. There we go. That's what Daddy needed. Oh, that's so therapeutic. The action on that gun is just so cool. Let's go see what kind of hits that we got. All right, so there's what we had with the 9130. Now I was aiming at this head plate. We got 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. So, you know, we didn't get exactly what we were looking for out of it, but that is the short-barreled carbine length. So maybe that has something to do with it. Let's see what we got over here on this purple one. All right. Uno, dos, tres. Now remember, I did miss this one once, so I did fire 4 shots at this before I got my 3 hits. But, you know, I mean, those, it's not bad. It's not bad. I can't hate on that too much. And did you know Mosin Nagants were in fact made in the United States for a certain point in time? Did you know that Remington and New England Westinghouse, Remington Arms and New England Westinghouse, were contracted by the Soviet Russians back in early in World War I. They were contracted by the Russian government for Remington to make was it 1.2 million, and then New England Westinghouse was ordered 1.8 million of these rifles. They ended up, Remington delivered 750,000 of the rifles. New England Westinghouse delivered like right around the same amount before the contracts got canceled. And the United States government had to step in because when Russia canceled those contracts with those 2 arms manufacturers, they basically put them in a bankrupting situation. So the US government stepped in and bought all the remaining rifles that the Russians did not buy, and many of those rifles made their way into the hands of United States National Guardsmen and militiamen of the time. And then a lot of the weapons made it all over the world too. I mean, so just so you know, a pro tip: if you ever come across a Mosin Nagant with a Remington stamp on it, buy that, get that. That's rare. There wasn't that many of them, and a lot of them have been destroyed. So, knowledge is power. Alright, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to see just how quickly we can run some of these rounds out of these different types of guns. Now, I believe these rounds originally came on stripper clips. I don't think you had to manually load them one round at a time like you do now. I don't have any stripper clips for them, so I've got her lubed up. Let's run 5 rounds through it real quick. It's got a 5-round box, fixed box magazine, so let's do it. All right, that was pretty slow, but it's a bolt gun. It's an old bolt gun, and it's really dirty. I need to have my gunsmith take apart these bolts and clean them up. I think they would work a lot better if they had a good solid cleaning in them. Now, I really feel fortunate to be able to live in a country where I can have these cool weapons. You know, you hear the Democrats talking about how we don't need weapons of war in our hands, but they're always talking about the little puny calibered AR-15s. This weapon, or this style of weapon, not this particular weapon, has been in more than 40 wars/conflicts around the world. As a matter of fact, the United States is probably the only country, one of the few countries, that this weapon hasn't spilt blood in. So let's run 5 rounds through the 9130 and see if this one runs any smoother than the M44. Boy, I bet you can tell by watching that I'm absolutely not used to running these types of guns. They're a lot of fun to shoot, but they do require some techniques in getting used to operating these bolts. You know, if you think that you can just jump into one of these guns and be Johnny Badass, you better get some practice in with them. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to throw up a couple of pieces of this level 2 soft armor and shoot a couple rounds through that and see what that looks like. You want to do it? I want to do it. Let's do it together. Yeah, together. All right, so I've got 2 pieces of level 2 I got 2 pieces of level 2 soft Kevlar armor pinned up down here on the targets. I'm going to hit the red plate with the 9130. I'm going to hit the purple plate with the M44. It sucks because I've already shot this clip once, but because I failed to turn the damn camera on, well, I guess we just have to do it again.
Buy a shotgun.
FJB. Oh, yeah. So, to my law enforcement friends out there, or to my law enforcement viewers, if you ever find yourself with a bad guy coming at you with a Mosin Nagant, please, for the love of God, take cover. Your armor is not going to stop these rounds. And you're going to have to be wearing some level 3, level 3 plus, level 4, preferably level 4, because the kinetic transfer on these rounds is just going to bust your guts up. All right, M44 going at the body armor.
Buy a
Sending
shotgun.
it. Oh, yeah. Listen. This is just such a thing of beauty. The only thing that sucks about them is that they're made in Russia. Could you imagine having to carry this big, heavy son of a bitch through combat? I mean, the gun itself's probably 6-7 pounds. Throw in a couple hundred rounds of ammo to keep yourself alive. It really did take a special kind of man to fight the wars when the wars were fought with guns like these. If I've misgendered these rifles, please let me know. I don't get upset about those things. I'm not an expert. I'm just a guy that enjoys shooting his guns and living his life to the fullest. Let's go see what these targets look like. All right, there's the hit that I failed to hit the camera on, and then there's the fresh hit. Oh. And those rounds definitely made it through. I have no doubt about that. You can see all the spall damage. Actually, you can see, I could see through one of them there for a second. But yeah. All right, so that's the type, that's the 9130. And then here is the first hole I hit, and I failed to record it. There's the second hole. This is with the M44. 2 hits, 2 straight through the vest. Look at all that spalling where the round made it through the vest, hit the plate and exploded, and just shredded the inside of between the person and where that plate sat. These guns really are some of the most violent weapons that I've had the opportunity to bring out onto therapy range. I mean, it's right in there with the M1 Garand. It's right there with the Enfield 303. I mean, these weapons of war from old war are just violent weapons. I mean, it's a big cartridge, it's a big gun, it's a heavy bullet, it's a heavy rifle. And when you hit soft tissue with these rounds, I really do. It makes you take a moment to think about the people that we lost in this world from the violence that came from these guns. But regardless, FJB anyway, it's my right to have them. I have the right to defend myself. I have the right to live and be free in this country. Therefore, I will not hand over not my brown guns, not my black guns, not the old guns, not the new guns, not my pistols, not my shotguns. Shut up, Joe. I'm not giving up any of my guns. In fact, I'm going to keep buying more. And the more regulations that you put in place to prevent that, the more of a criminal that you're going to force me to become. Live your life to the fullest, because anything less is an injustice to yourself and every damn person around you.
Buy a shotgun.
Oh my God, I wish that old man would go away. I hope he doesn't run for president again. For the love of God. I need that guy off my range.
Buy a shotgun.
I'm going to have to go get more ammo. I need more therapy now. Stay free, America. Until next time, I'll see you guys really soon.